Hi there, and welcome to week 5 of the course. This week we're covering objectives, and the textbook and the assigned readings are both pretty good, offer pretty good coverage of objectives. And I think I want to start off just by saying I think objectives are one of the foundations for instructional designers. And often when you get into a situation where you're being employed as an instructional designer, objectives are going to be your first big conversation, probably with an instructor, unless you're in at a very early design stage. Objectives are something that if you don't get them right, everything else can fall apart. So it's, I find, in courses where I have a very low touch, where I'm not doing very much, the one thing I'm sure to be doing is getting in there and making sure that the objectives are well written, and that they're going to lead to well-designed learning, and that they're going to lead to appropriate assessment. So that's the other thing that sort of hinges on it. Next week, you're going to be covering assessment, and there's a big linkage between objectives and assessment. If you don't have properly written objectives that reflect the learning goals, it's going to be hard to make some appropriate assessment. So the things that are key in objectives, and they're laid out in the text, they do tie to assessment, and they need to reflect what the learning goals were set out originally for whatever it is you're designing. And that could just be a goal statement, it could be a needs analysis that was done earlier, or an occupational analysis. Whatever came out of those things is going to be further refined into objectives. So you've got an interesting objectives task this week. So you're going to be writing some good objectives, and you're going to try and write a few sneaky, not so good objectives. This is a fun sort of way to learn how to do something and perhaps play around with it. I've designed a few activities like this in the past. It's been a while since I told people to try and be deceitful and make things that aren't good, and then everybody else gets to go find out what's actually wrong with them. So that's a neat task for this week. Another thing to mention, there'll be mid-course feedback. A tool for that will be opening on Wednesday, and it'll close at the end of Monday of next week. Anyway, I look forward to the work you're going to be doing on objectives this week, and we'll talk to you later. Thanks.